Good afternoon then, and welcome to Cougar Park. The return of the match at Carlisle, the earlier part of the season. Carlisle, of course, travelling down here this afternoon. It's the first of the run-in for the Big League Challenge. And the teams this afternoon: Carlisle, Willie Richardson, Colin Paxton, Kevin Pape, a trialist at number 4, Paul Blake, number 5, the halfbacks Danny Russell and Kevin Fox, Steve Brearley, Paul Crary, Hugh Waddell, Tony Scott, Simon Knox and Gary Charlton in the forwards. Trialist at 14 and Adam Bertoli at 15, and as the Cougars take the park, their team this afternoon: fullback Dave Tanner, Andy Stevenson, Nick Pinkney, Dave Creaser and Richard Francis in the three quarters. Martin Wood and Andy Ayres at half-back, Brendan Hill, Jason Ramshaw, Andy Bateman, Steve Hall, Ian Gately and Mark Brookcowden make up the forwards. The substitutes of Keith this afternoon: 14 Kevin Marr, are making a very welcome return to the scene after a long layoff with injury, Joe Grimmer. The man in the middle this afternoon is Mr. David Carter from Widnes. He blows his whistle, and we're now looking to the two captains coming forward to do the honours. Jason Ramshaw for Keighley, and we wait to see who it is for Carlisle. But Daryl, a very important game this. If Keighley's challenge is to be maintained for that top 2 spot, a win today vital to compensate for that disaster at Carlisle earlier in the season.
Certainly is, John. Yeah, had a good start at Carlisle, like I said, away, but blew it in the end. We've got to win today. You know, 2 points today is vital. Carlisle's got a V-shaped side. Like you said, they've got some trialists in the squad. You know, now's the time to put them under pressure. And let's have a game. Let's get 2 good points here. Just notice as the players change, there's quite a clash. There's a lot of red about on the park. Could have a bit of trouble here, could the referee sorting them out.
Yeah, white socks for Keighley, predominantly red shirts, but the Carlisle change strip is even worse. So this is the best of the 2 options. The socks, I would think, may have it. Keighley won the toss. Kevin Pape, the centre and captain for Carlisle, having to play down the slope and with a certain amount of wind at his back. It's coming left to right as usual. Well, not as usual, but more or less as usual, left to right across as we look at the picture. Carlisle get the game underway then. It's fullback Richardson kicking deep into the bottom corner. Martin Wood on station there, half through the initial tackles. Announced as well today that with Carlisle, with the departure of coach Cameron Bell at the end of the season, that the possibilities are that Hugh Waddell will be taking over next season. As Brendan Hill now comes up the touchline side, 5 or 6 metres from the halfway line. Ramshaw onto Ayres, he finds the ball out to Gately. Martin Wood would have probably done better, I think, possibly drawing the defence before parting with that ball, but nonetheless Mark Brookcowden securing it, and it's Gately switching the ball back inside now. David Creaser in the more accustomed position of centre this afternoon, and the ball going back there for the left boot of David Tanner to put the ball upfield. David Tanner, of course, in the full-back shirt this afternoon following the very serious injury to Wayne Race, facing a knee operation tomorrow in the Yorkshire Clinic. 10 metres then from the halfway line as Richardson gets the ball away. Waddell, that wearing the number 10 shirt, held a couple of metres from the halfway line, and it's moving across this Carlisle 9 now very slowly there, and Danny Russell just making that mistake, but then recovers at acting half as a kick goes in. That ball's not going to go into touch, it's in fact going to go dead. Just misjudging the strength of the wind, and I think the strange firmness of the Cougar Park field. Tremendous amount of water gone into this field yet again this week, and it's a credit to the ground staff that the game can even go ahead the way in which it's been recovered. Ramshaw. Andy Bateman driving the ball in for the halfway line. Ian Gately switches inside to Creaser. Creaser onto Ramshaw. Ramshaw picking that ball up one-handed. And in fact the ball moving away now. If the Martin Wood getting stitched up in the middle. Andy Ayres switches the ball there to Mark Brooke-Cowden, brings on Ramshaw again, a long ball out there, but that's half intercepted. I think it must have been knocked back. Richard Francis going up this wing side now. Francis takes on the defence. Richardson doing well there. In fact the ball just spilling out in the tackle. But, the fact that the Carlisle player may well have touched that ball as it went into Brendan Hill's hands of no assistance to Keighley in the count back, as the ball going into touch from that tackle on Richard Francis. But certainly the crowd in good voice on the far side and in the top corner, and good defence there by Keighley, forcing the Carlisle player back towards his own line. Richardson doing his best to get away, but again good tackling back there. Andy Bateman this time, and that's Colin Paxton for Carlisle as the play switched into the centre of the park for the forward to drive in, and the kick comes once more. Ball bouncing kindly there for David Tanner, goes across the field, gets away from the first tackler, away from the second, but into the arms there of the trialist in the left centre position. Stevenson up onto Ramshaw. Stevie Hall gets a drive in, and Ramshaw there just scurrying to get to the acting half position. Brendan Hill offloading to Martin Wood. Martin Wood, well, that ball's all on. Kevin Pape pushing away the would-be tacklers, picks up the ball, loses the ball. Is it a knock-on? That one is. I would suggest probably the one from Kevin Pape was also a knock-on, but I don't think referee Carter saw it as such, Daryl.
No, we're going to play on, John, till number 5 knocked on. Bit of a let-off there for Keighley.
Well, from a position on the halfway line, Keighley now looking to run the ball away from their own 10. Certainly Pape, one of the tormentors up at Carlisle in that disastrous day. Showing that he's also possibly going to be a tormentor this afternoon. But Ayres now onto Ian Gately. Ball miraculously out of that tackle there as Stevenson doing well to get away from those tackles on the far side. Ayres now onto Martin Wood. Take him on, Martin. So a fortunate knock on there by Carlisle, giving Keighley the head and the feed. Martin Wood now out there to Pinkney. Pinkney bumps off the first one, loses the boot in the process. It's thrown onto the touchline side. Gets up though, plays that ball. That man very, very quickly round there from the marker position. Either he was quick, Daryl, or Keighley was slow.
A bit of both, John.
Steve Hall then, Ramshaw, Ayres, Ramshaw again. Oh, and that's a difficult ball, but Brendan Hill takes it on. Richard Francis, but it's a forward pass from Brendan. Forward pass from Brendan Hill, and how well the big number 8 did there, Daryl, to get back to that ball. The ball struck him. It was a terrible pass for him to take. It struck him on the leg, and how well he did to get there in the first instance.
Yeah, I think that's why he get forward pass. He probably thought the referee were going to blow up for knock on, you know, but he didn't knock on, it would play on. So, but unfortunately, it was forward pass.
Carlisle then encamped in their own 20 for the time being. And driving the ball out, but being driven back inside by those Keighley tacklers. Back once more for the kick to relieve the pressure. That's a good, long, deep kick. Had a look to see where David Tanner was. He wasn't there, but it's just going to go dead. But nonetheless, it's pushed Keighley all the way back down to their own 20-metre line from inside the Carlisle 20-metre area. Andy Bateman driving in once more. 30 metres out from his line. Ian Gately deciding to take play back inside. Combination tackle there by loose forward Gary Charlton and Hugh Waddell. As the ball now I was going to say spilling out to the far side, but spilling out to the hands of Nick Pinkney as he approached the halfway line. Five metres inside the Keighley half then, as the bits and pieces and the mess is sorted out round that play of the ball. Carlisle some 12 metres now inside the Keighley half of the field, moving out towards the far side. Charlton offloading there to number 11 Scott, but Scott well met there by Ian Gately. Looking for the kick forward. The kick's been called for by Pape to the bottom corner. Pape's chasing it, but again I fear it's too long. But certainly Kevin Pape, the man calling for that ball. 3 passes before it was actually kicked and telling them where he wanted it. Kevin Fox, the kicker, of course, but Brendan Hill, the Keighley player, driving away from his own 20 from that tap restart. Steve Hall now approaching 10 minutes on the clock as well, as Martin Wood, ball out there to Nick Pinkney. Pinkney bumps off the initial attempted tackle. Creaser gets Francis away. Richard Francis steps inside, but it's Kevin Pape again, the man doing the tackling. He's certainly doing all sorts as far as Carlisle are concerned this afternoon. But this is Keighley once more. Jason Ramshaw finds the ball inside, and I think an obstruction there on Nick Pinkney, pulled back by hooker Paul Crary, and referee Carter seeing it. Rather a dodgy thing going for goal, I would have thought. We've got a tremendous gale blowing down the field. It's almost 30 metres out from the line, although I suppose 2 points on the board, if that's the outcome, Daryl, is a confidence builder for Keighley up the slope and against the wind. Yeah, as long as it goes, John, either goes for the goal or goes dead. You know, what we don't want is the ball to hang up in the wind and Carlisle to gain possession, because it's broken play. You know, what could happen in broken play. Could also say that if the Keighley chase is good enough, they may also gain possession themselves and score a try from it, but we wait and see. Let's hope for the positive side, and it's 2 points. David Tanner then, left boot. Looks good, the crowd tell us.
There you go, it's a Cougar goal. David Tanner. David Tanner, Cougar goal number 1. Y'all ready for this?
Willie Richardson then prepares to restart. 2 points to nil, Keighley lead, 12 minutes on the clock. Steve Hall just has a quick readjustment, as a certain Mr. McLaren would have it. David Tanner linking up well from that very quick clear play of the ball, and in fact holding down by Carlisle there as Keighley trying to get up and play the ball quickly. Something really, Daryl, isn't it, that Keighley have been lacking in the last few weeks, and that is the speed around play the ball. They've been a little bit slow, haven't they? But that was very, very quick.
Yeah, good play the ball there by Stevie, quickly there, and Keighley got another 5 or 6 yards out of that just because he played it quickly, and they also got the penalty because they wanted to play quick as well.
Martin Wood there drawing the defence, getting the ball out to Nick Pinkney. Pinkney offloads, it's gone backwards though. Mark Brookcowden just 6 inches in front of the ball there, not able to take it. And that's an iffy one, but Andy Ayres through the hole, out of a mistake, could come a try as Stevenson drives forward 6 metres from the line. Ayres at acting half back, tells him where he wants it. Brendan's in.
Answer this. Brandon Hill, Cougar try number 1.
Now the disco sounds have died away. We watch for the outcome of the conversion of that Brendan Hill try. A long way out for David Tanner, and it's falling well short. But Darrell, that try really coming from magnificent support play right from that quick play the ball by Steve Hall deep in his own half of the field.
They certainly did, John. Yeah, they come up well there, did Keighley. I think we must have been working on this play the ball, because they're playing it a lot quicker today than they have done in previous weeks, and it's showing now. You know, they're putting Carlisle are still backpedaling and Keighley playing the ball quickly. It's what it's all about. Good basics.
Richardson then restarts for Carlisle. Martin Wood uses a foot to control the ball inside his own try line area, and almost gets to his own 10 before being brought to ground by those Carlisle tacklers. Bateman once more. Gately, Ian Gately coming through, but not able to get the way from the tackle of Waddell as Steve Hall now comes. Waddell puts out the arm. Again, calling for the quick play of the ball as Andy Ayres gets the ball out to Martin. Back to Tanner. Tanner up the touchline side, bringing Stevenson on the inside. Andy Stevenson, though, brought to ground 30 metres out. It's the last tackle coming up. It's been laid on, but Ayres gets the ball out to Wood. He brings it across to Ramshaw. The chip kick forward for the chase. And it's David Creaser doing the business there on wingman Colin Paxton. Willie Richardson running across the face, trying to find a hole in that line of Cougar defence. Waddell tackle some 25 metres out from his own line, and the ball coming back centre field for the run through by the number 8 Braley. He too, though, I nearly said bites the dust. It's not quite that in the centre of the field. Oh, and that's definitely a high tackle by David Creaser. The referee pulls up. I think it was the reckless type rather than the reckless sort of accidental rather than the intent, Darrell. just nonetheless, referee going to have a quick word with him.
Yeah, he should have a word here, John. Give a right telling, keep it down. You know, you don't need them. All right, they're reckless, like you said, John. But they still cause, you know, a lot of harm and a lot of pain to them. Keep them low.
The Responsible Village Estates are the leading house rental agency in Bradford. Largest selection of private houses to rent. Looking to rent or your own house or living in a rented house. All you do is telephone Village Estates at Bradford and they'll sort you out with all your household goods and your rental needs. So there you are. And he's the ball sponsor, so we'll see if he knows anything about rugby.
Simon knocks them back on his feet, but certainly he felt the effect of that tackle. Braley then tackled at 12 metres inside the Keighley half of the field. Waddell takes the play on. Crary, acting half back, offers a switch but picks it back inside to Tony Scott, the number 11 for Carlisle. Almost broken in two there by Brendan Hill. Loose forward, Charlton coming in, looking all the way to offload, but there's nobody making themselves available for that ball. Well, you can't do that, but it's penalised Keighley. Well, I'd like to see the pictures again there, Dell, because they look to be two markers to me.
No, John, it's a silly rule really, because Keighley tackled him, you know, two players tackled him, they rolled off the tackle, the man got up, played the ball to himself, because the tacklers were at the side, and they weren't marking, you know, if he played it quick. So if we carry on really, you know, penalty it is.
Tell that lad. Ball boy. When it's a penalty, put the ball on the line. Don't give it to the players. Put it on the line.
So then Willie Richardson looking to pull 2 points back. Yeah, I do agree with Daryl there on that point. It is a silly rule because both players had rolled away. They were both standing there visible for everybody to see as Richardson slots that one through the centre. Visible for everybody to see, and yet referees do sometimes allow that and give the penalty for a marker, and other times, as Mr Carter's done there, give a penalty against the defending side. And really a referee's got nowhere to go, Darrell. Whatever he does is going to be wrong in some people's eyes, isn't he, in those circumstances?
Certainly is, John, yeah. This is where we're missing Fred Lindop, you know. Want a directive from Rugby League, not a good directive, not like this week's directive that they cancelled after 2 days.
Yeah, certainly a directive that came out which appeared to have been done in haste rather than wisdom. Carlisle then feeling themselves coming back a little bit into the game after the 2 points on that Richardson penalty, now trailing by just those 4 points with 20 minutes on the clock. On a 50-50 ball there, anybody could have had it. Martin Wood with an extra inch on the end of his fingers may well have got that one. Keighley doing well there, Mark Brookcowden popping up from nowhere, getting the ball out. Richard Francis taking it on his own from the acting half back, looking for a hole through, and picks the two big lads of Carlisle to run into, the two prop forwards. And that's certainly, again, that's a high tackle. And in fact this time it's the hooker Paul Crary pulled out. Ian Gately on the receiving end of it, just told again by Mr Carter, keep them down, and he's been consistent. David Tanner being called up once more to attempt a conversion of that penalty from a similar position to the one that he was asked to do the same job before from. Settles himself then in that heavyish area. The crowd will tell us I feel before the touch judges. They do.
It's a good one from David Tanner. We got the record stuck. Give me a break.
Richardson then with a similar kick.
And the ladies score
into the bottom corner.
10, Workington 0.
Martin Wood then again being found by that Richardson restart and taking it to the 10. Ian Gately getting another 10 almost. And Ramshaw. Andy Bateman. The ooze from the crowd, I think really indicating that he just hadn't quite managed to release that ball. And it's Steve Hall now driving in straight at three of them. Ramshaw. Marbrook Cowden offers to offload. Offloads eventually. Gately. That ball knocked to ground and counted back as Martin Wood going up. Dummies. Martin Wood's in. Martin Wood's going to score. Well, Martin Wood did what he should have been doing for a long time, Daddle. He drew the player. He threw the dummy. He has confidence in himself, something that I think has been lacking over the past few weeks, and that will have done him the world of good.
Yeah, I think so. You're right there, John. I think he's been lacking a bit of confidence, you know. But he's had a haircut and it's made a world of difference to him now. He's taking him on. That's what we like to see.
Yeah, it's a good try there to Martin Wood. 24 minutes on the clock. David Tanner got the conversion some 10 or 11 metres out from the left-hand side of the post. This almost into the face of the wind, as I say, it's diagonal across the field. And it's just not pulled round. Nonetheless, a positive scoreline as far as Keighley concerned, 12 points to 2. Change of tactics there by Richardson, kicking to the other corner. It's Andy Stevenson, the man on the end of that one. And certainly a good drive out, nearly 20 metres gained as he goes. 4 Carlisle players now. A quick play of the ball here from Steve. Should see a big hole created. 4 Carlisle defenders certainly tied up there. Carlisle still going backwards as Keighley come forward. Bateman inside their half now, inside the Carlisle half. Just lost a bit of momentum there as he fell to ground. Andy Ayres dodging round, and a long arm there from Simon Knox. The ball intended, I think, for Brendan Hill. Knox just having a different idea, taking the ball, clutching it out of the air and breaking down that Keighley attack, which almost had try written all over it. Waddell looked as though he was about to surrender that ball there to Jason Ramshaw. No doubt Jason's hand was around the back of it. Gary Charlton just breaking into Keighley territory. Gets up, plays the ball. Kevin Fox outside there to Knox. Knox escapes the first tackle but falls to the second one as the last one comes up. Mr. Carter with the arm in the air. Knox not really playing that correctly. That one hitting a A Keighley hand on the way through. Brendan Hill trying to play the ball quickly but not being allowed to. Two Carlisle players behind him, but the ball moving. So the restart will take place 30 metres away from the Carlisle line. Play just held up while the other ball taken off the field. It's Ayers now. Hall missed out. Gately turns. The support wasn't there, but that's Richard Francis going to get the ball back, but it's going to be back to one if Mr. Carter saw it. He hasn't signalled it. Now called 2 tackles, O'Donnell, so he missed it. Ramshaw then, Martin Wood looks to offload, but the arm of the Carlisle player round there to protect that ball. Ayers running across. Ooh, Mark Brook-Cowden doing well there to take that one, that's for sure. Andy Bateman doing even better with that one. It's the last one coming up as Keighley 22 metres out. Ayers takes on the defence, but it's a forward pass. And Mr. Carter judging that by the arm action, and I don't think we can have too many arguments with it either. Handover then takes place just inside the Carlisle 20. Crary decided to go on his own, and Richardson doing likewise from that play the ball. Gets up, plays it. Braley breaking into the Keighley half of the field. There's a sticky patch there, and it's amazing into Knox. Knox gets away. The 25 out now as the last tackle called. 12 points to 2 the scoreline reads. 30 minutes on the clock. And Martin Wood doing very, very well there. Clawed the ball out of the air from that chip over the top by Waddell, and also did well to protect his own body as he dropped back to the ground. Nick Pinkney tackled some 22 metres out as Ramshaw gets the ball onto Ayers. Andy Bateman once more offloads, but offloads wrongly. Kevin Pape's going to score, is he? Richard Francis gets to him, but there's a try there to Kevin Pape. Pape sniffing in the line, and Andy Bateman trying to offload it, but well, security might have been a bit better there, Daryl.
Yeah, I think it would, John, yes. Like you say, only in his own 20, you don't want to be throwing it around silly there. And Pape's a good centre, he's out of all, and he's there like lightning. Good try for him.
From Carlisle.
Kevin Pape then scoring almost in the corner. 4 or 5 feet out from the corner flag. Keighley preparing to make a substitution. Andy Bateman, the guy coming off. Joe Grimmer, the man coming on. He's got 8 to 9 minutes to toil up the hill against the wind. The wind, if anything, will take this ball to the right hand side of the post from Richardson's conversion. It does, although I don't think the direction was very good in the first instance.
Substitute time.
Joe Grimmer on then for Andy Bateman.
It's right time, Cowboy Joe's on. Joe Grimmer.
David Creaser then restarts. First time, in fact, that Keighley have actually, the second time that Keighley have restarted in this, or started in this game from the centre spot. As Waddell now comes in, tackles there by
18, Workington 4.
and it's Stephen Braley driving towards the halfway line. Fox moves the ball across the field. Loose forward Charlton, struggling to get up, looking at the referee, I think claiming that he ought to have been awarded a penalty there for lying on. Certainly not gaining that award as the last tackle is called by the referee, and there it is for Fox to kick down and find touch some 15 metres from the Keighley line. I feel certain that the Keighley players will be welcoming the half-time break, 6 minutes away. Scoreline 12 points to 6 in their favour, but certainly the wind that they've been facing this half extremely bitter and almost straight in the faces as they come up the hill. Dave Tanner tackled 10 metres from his own line, and it's Mark Brook-Cowden tackled by Kevin Pape just inside his own 20, rolls clear of it, and that hooker must have been a fortnight offside. Certainly hooker Crary was up very, very quickly there, Darrell, from that defensive line.
Yeah, John, but they've played the ball, they've slowed down of Keighley to play the ball. You know, we've gone back into, I don't know really, natural thinking with them, but they've slowed down again. We've got to speed it back up. Cause Carlisle all sorts of problems when we speed it up.
Pape juggling there, but managing to regather and getting away again, and tackled into touch there. Good covering tackle there by David Tanner, but a question mark against the first tackle again, Darrell, there, not making the first tackle.
Yeah, we've been on about it in past weeks, John. We've missed a lot of first tackles. We've done better this week, but one there that we missed, we should have had. Straightforward tackle, really.
Ayres then to feed this scrum on the Keighley 10. In and out, the second row breaking away from the base of the scrum there for Carlisle, number 11 Tony Scott. And it's Ayres, plays the ball, Ramshaw onto Martin Wood. Mark Brook-Cowden loops back around with Martin Wood. He finds the supporting David Tanner, and Tanner's away. Line, but offloads, and Richardson regathers. Good work there by David Tanner, put away by, well, a ball which possibly shouldn't have been given away, but really the lack of support play as well as Carlisle come back down. And offload and go forward. And he had line there, but Dave Tanner's break out there, Darrell. I'm not sure whether he shouldn't have offloaded or whether the support play should have been there. Which way?
I think he should have kept John. You know, he made a break and he was away through the gap, and the Carlisle players in Keighley's, you know, support players' way. He'd have been better off sticking there, because it's awkward once you make a gap and there's three players around you. You can't offload because people can't get to you.
No doubt as well, the very, very close proximity of the colours on the shirts not helping. Breaking play then whilst
Doncaster 28, Highfield 0, Whitehaven 3, Huddersfield 2, London 18, as we said, Workington 4, Batley 12, Swinton 2, Barrow 0, Dewsbury 4.
Loose forward it is Gary Charlton, just receiving treatment. Didn't look too happy, but he's eventually got up as Ayres feeds the ball into the scrum. And again, Scott breaking forward and looking as well, Darrell, as though the defensive line encroaching well on that 5 metres behind the scrum. Or they're not putting the flags up, one or the other. But this is Ayres onto Gately. Gately steps back inside, a lovely ball there to Andy Ayres. I think possibly the ball was forward anyway. I think the ball was forward, Darrell. He's given the knock on, I think. He's given the first knock on. I think, though, the ball forward from Andy Ayres, missing the support of Martin Wood and Nick Pinkney, not able, I beg your pardon, David Creaser not able to pick the ball on. That ball scrum just wheeling there as Kevin Fox trying to put the ball in. Richardson linking back up once more. Gets back to the 20-metre line 2 minutes before the break, on running time that is. That's the trialist centre. £12-6. Ball comes out, a long ball out really, and Luke back in. Nice ball back inside there to Fox. He's got support on the outside, and there goes Pate for the pick-up. But he doesn't get there. But Keighley actually made the ball dead. Keighley made the ball dead. Well, the downward pressure, in my opinion, was placed there by the foot of a Keighley defender. It looked to be anyway, certainly on the naked eye. And a try being awarded to Colin Paxton, Darrell.
Yeah, that's how I got it wrong. Said Pape score, but it was Paxton. Yeah, I thought it had gone dead myself, John, but the touches were there, and they touched it down and everything, but touches said we hadn't touched it. The man that touched properly was the winger, and they give him the try. Can't argue, the fish are a lot nearer than us.
Certainly didn't go dead, that's for sure. Well, that try coming at the wrong time for Keighley, at the right time for Carlisle. They'll be going back in, hoping that this conversion goes over to defend an equal start on the second half. But the kick coming forward, it's that man, Kevin Fox, kicking forward for the chase by Pape. And Pape doing the chasing as Richardson pumps that ball.
Because he deserves it with a kick like that. Well done.
Keighley restart then, deep into stoppage time in this first half. There's the goal scored, the conversion scorer there, Richardson. And there's the try scorer, Colin Paxton. 15 metres out from the Carlisle line. Hugh Waddell just juggles with that ball. Ball switched back inside as ever to the supporting Braley. The number of times that the Carlisle play is dictated by that switch back inside from the acting half-back, and that's a good kick into touch. But there's a half-time hooter, half-time score of 12 points apiece. Keighley tries coming from Brendan Hill and Martin Wood, two goals from David Tanner, and a try from centre Kevin Pate, one from Colin Paxton, and two Willie Richardson goals to give a half-time score. I have to say, a very disappointing 12 points apiece, Darrell.
Yes, John. Keighley have done most of the attacking. Unfortunately, they've two bad slips let Carlisle in for 12 points. I think an 18-6 would have been a much fairer half-time score on the play, but it's not. It's 12-all. Keighley's got it all to do second half.
Matches. Next Sunday is another home game against Pathway, kick-off 3:15. On Wednesday, the 23rd,
Well, the players are back out on the field, at least the Keighley players are back out on the field. 12 points apiece, the scoreline reading, and I think there may well be the odd ear burning a little bit from that half-time talk after conceding that try so close on half-time, Darrell.
It certainly is, John. I should imagine that's why they're out early. You know, they've come out with it. Fighters probably still in there going crackers at them, and they're out here. That's how bad it'd have been.
There we go for part two. Just while we're waiting,
Carlisle back on the field as well, followed by the match officials, so ready for
Ian Gately, happy birthday. Tomorrow from Sheridan. Yeah, boy.
Mr. Carter then prepares to get things underway, just checks his touch judges, and away we go.
Wish happy birthday to Zoe Ridioff from Sarah, Rachel and Laura.
Oh, and that not the best at all, and very, very lucky to get away with that was number 11 Tony Scott. The ball bouncing off the hill, off the thigh rather, and Hugh Waddell there brought down, loses the ball in the tackle. Ian Gately tackled there. Oh, and that player gone way off the mark as Hooker Crary. It was away like a buck rabbit there from that mark, way before the ball went down. Andy Ayres tackled in the centre of the park. Jason Ramshaw 25 metres out from the line. Joe Grimmer stepping back inside. The three Carlisle players round. A quick play the ball called for here. Never mind about messing with the players. Get the ball played quickly and get the game underway. Catch them with the trousers down. But Brendan losing the ball there in the tackle on the far side, inside the Carlisle 10 metre rather. And Richardson gets up, plays the ball. Waddell driving upfield. Martin Wood, the man on the end of the tackle there. Inside, the big number 8, Stephen Braley, well taken there by Ian Gately. 10 metres, no way that ball was going to be moving out. And the trialist centre brought into play and tackled on the halfway line. Brendan Hill down though. Just having a look around to see if there's anything happening as the ball kicked through, and Pape there almost catching Richard Francis out for Pape. Looked like a knee going in there from Colin Paxton. Undetected by the touch judge, who's a lot nearer than we are. Dave Tanner, and the standoff for Carlisle, miles offside as Steve Hall goes through the centre, shrugs off the would-be tacklers. It's the trialist eventually who brings him down, gets up, plays the ball onto Brendan Hill. Hill goes in, dips the shoulder, offloads to Pinkney. Pinkney half steps inside but brought down, or eventually wrestled to the ground there by number 5 Paul Blake for Carlisle. Ayres on the run round. Oh, and the ball just knocked forward. Well, there was 2 knock-ons there, and Kevin Pape just a bit upset with himself, but I think that ball knocked forward by a Carlisle player on the passage through, Darrell.
Yeah, but I don't think they're afraid of giving it, John, you know. I think if Pape had taken that and gone all the way, did he give it the try?
I think you're right, because the referee far too far behind in play.
719. Your raffle ticket numbers on the pink. First ticket 230, and the second prize is a green ticket 269. So it's 230 on the
So
pink.
then we're seeing a scrum some 10 metres inside the Keighley half of the field. Ayres feeds the ball in. Martin Wood, David Tanner brought to ground, and it's Ayres running across the face of play, but the support play, if anything, just edging themselves slightly away from him. And it's Richard Francis now having a go on his own, gets inside that 20 metre area, 15 from the line. Hall onto Hill, but Hill wrapped up the minute he got the ball. It's the last tackle coming up. Jason Ramshaw, what's going to happen here? Martin Wood on the opposite switch. Martin Wood, nice ball in there to Steve Hall. Keighley get the reward for keeping the ball alive, and really it was a switch out of nothing, because I don't think there was anywhere for that ball to go. Jason it was who switched it, Darrell, but he was really looking for somebody to give it, and Martin Wood created a bit of magic for Steve Hall.
Yeah, it's a good try there. Like I said earlier about Martin, he's got a bit of confidence, taking him back on, took him on there. Unfortunately, he just got hold of his shirt, which held him back, otherwise he'd have gone himself. But he had the pencil of mind, and Steve shouted at him, you know, had a quiet word in his ear that I'm here if you want me. Give him it, and under the post he went.
There's certainly a good start to the second half for Keighley. Just 5 minutes in, that Steve Hall try. David Tanner then with the conversion attempt from in front of the post.
David Tanner.
Inside the left hand upright. 18 points to 12.
3 goals for David Tanner.
I can't understand why Mr. Carter stands at this side for the for the kick-offs either. You know, they kick this way and he's between the ball and the chasers. They're offside. They could be offside. He wouldn't know it. He's done it all game.
Joe Grimmer then taking that ball, and a good 15 metres gain as Steve Hall comes on the rampage towards the halfway line. His forward momentum and strength taking him clear of that halfway whitewash as Ramshaw finds Ian Gately. Gately bursts through. Pinkney's with him. He's still going Gately, but he eventually finds Andy Stevenson 10 metres from the line. Nick Pinkney acting half back. The numbers are there if the ball moves quickly as Ramshaw fetches it back inside for Andy Ayres. Andy Ayres shrugged around looking for support. Jason Ramshaw tried to get in position to take it as Ramshaw now across to Martin Wood. Martin Wood through under the post. Good play. Good quick play there, Darrell. Good thinking by Keighley.
Yes, the gap there all the way, John. Good pass there, Martin. He was stood between the two men, you know. Good try that.
Martin Wood. Martin Wood is looking good. Good old Martin boy.
Dave Tanner then from a similar position to that which he found himself 2 minutes ago. And successfully doubling the Keighley score from the half-time break.
Ice in the sky. The greatest of ease. With the chariots of fire.
Referee just holding up play whilst substitution takes place. It's Tony Scott, the man leaving the field.
Substitute there for Carlisle. Tony Scott comes
and
up. And on comes
the trialist.
a trialist.
Good kick down towards the Keighley goalpost. A suggestion of a wee bit high there from the Carlisle tackler. And Ramshaw dummy to his left. The crowd call ooh, but it was certainly down the side. And Joe Grimmer just having word with that trialist who's just come on. It certainly was a nasty one at the side of Jason Ramshaw's head. I don't think actually Mr. Carter was going to do anything about it, Daddle, at all, other than let them get up and play the ball.
Yeah, he hadn't seen out, John, you know. I think the only man that could have seen it, possibly this touch shoes down here under us. It was off on this side. The far touch shoes were out of sight of it. Whether Mr. Carter was or not, I don't know. They were going to let play go on.
You can only assume if he allows play to go on then that he didn't see anything. Brendan Hill driving that ball in now then. Gets up and plays it. Ramshaw switches inside. Steve Hall. Tackle there, combination of the trialist and Waddell. Ramshaw. Ian Gately loses the ball in the tackle The other trialist, the centre there, picking it up 30 metres out from the Keighley line as Carlisle now drive the way back up the slope and into the wind. Unusual for Ian Gately to lose a ball in possession like that, but this is number 8, Steve Braley, driving in and certainly refusing to go down, so put down quite unceremoniously there as Fox gets the ball on the run round. Martin Wood almost intercepting there as Knox had the ball, and it's full-back Richardson feigning as though to kick, but not managing the kick, going to ground, and the kick, the chase through. Richard Francis there just shepherding that ball into touch, over the dead ball line I should say. So it's a tap 20 restart, and it's Steve Hall driving out at the number 14, the trialist. Nowhere near standing square, those two, number 14 and 13 for Carlisle. And it's Martin Wood now. Ian Gately taking play through the centre of the field into the Carlisle half. Joe Grimmer tackled some 30 metres short. The referee moving across, looking on the defensive line. Martin Wood now taking play down the centre of the field. He had the support, but he still managed to get the ball out, and a long pass out there to Richard Francis leaves him standing, but he does well to get inside that 20 metre area from where he got the ball. It's the last one as Ramshaw gets the ball to Grimmer. Grimmer finds Hill. Brendan Hill barges off the would-be tackler, in for the try in the corner. Willie Richardson, he had no chance at all of stopping Brendan Hill there. He bounced off like the 8 ball. Brendan Hill's second try then of the game, Dal, and nowhere could Willie Richardson do anything about that, could he?
Not really, John, no. Good try that there. They overloaded with the heavy men on that far side in the corner, and Carlisle just had the weight to hold them back. Good try that.
There you go, Cougar tries on Big Brendan.
See how close that was to the corner flag. Barely a foot from that far touchline side where David Tanner's attempting this conversion from. Certainly giving it plenty of air, but direction just a wee bit astray. Nonetheless, 16 points in the second half.
Ballard 14, Shrewsbury 12. Batley 12, Swinton 8, London 20, Workington 12, Whitehaven 3, Huddersfield 2.
Keighley substitution. So Mark Brooke-Cowden left the field, and it's Kevin Marr on.
Kid substitution is Kevin Marr on for Mark Brooke-Cowden.
There's Kevin Marr now, just dipping, looking for the support there to offload as Ramshaw now. Ian Gately charging again through the centre of the field. Being well laid on there by the loose forward, who immediately moved quickly off the mark. Ramshaw puts that ball down, but I think it's going to beat everybody. Just. Waddell managing to offload, but Gately there for the springing away, and Joe Grimmer flopping. Mr. Carter calling for the flop. Paxton then trying to put that ball into touch, but not. Grimmer comes in now then. Oh, and there's something flown in there on Joe Grimmer. My words, the crowd there in B section certainly came up with the oohs and the ahs. Far too far away, I think, for us to see, but certainly the crowd not liking that at all. Well, the touch judge will put his 2 penneth in to the referee. Meanwhile, the other touch judge policing the two sides to make sure they keep apart on that side of the field. Referee now decides to stop play. He's calling out the player that he thinks was guilty. And it looks as though Keighley are going to have to make a blood bin substitution. Joe Grimmer got a cut, obviously, from whatever happened. The referee just telling the Keighley player that. The referee just telling the Keighley player Joe Grimmer there the touch judge saw what happened, and I think what we saw there we best not comment on. Well, there's two 10 minutes there for both players. Joe Grimmer they wanted him to go into the blood bin anyway, but the 10-minute sin bin will count. We wait to see what the decision is. The penalty for the leading by the elbow with Joe Grimmer in the first instance, and retaliation by the Carlisle player, no doubt. So the penalty then going to Carlisle on the halfway line. Both sides now down to 12 men. Don't get out of hand. Hugh Waddell just exchanging a few words there, I think, with Brendan Hill. And it's Paul Creary. And I sense just a little bit of ginger coming into this one, Daryl.
Certainly is, John. Certainly within front rows. Could be a bit of mixing. We'll have to be careful here, Mr. Carter. Keep on top of the game now. Could be problems.
Fox then for Carlisle, offloading to Richardson. Richardson equally offloading back to Knox. And Knox being tackled by Gately, some 15 metres inside the Keighley half. And certainly that incident has warmed up the crowd, if nothing else. Ball out there, going behind. Oh, an offside there. Gotta be offside. Well, it nowhere was that a scrum, Mr. Carter. The man was well in front of the player. He picked it up. Number 14, clearly, number 4, clearly offside, Daryl.
Certainly was, John. Could be a penalty.
And now Mr. Carter wanting a quick word with the two props, Waddell and Brendan Hill. Obviously seeing what's gone on. Ball out then to Keighley. Andy Ayres finds Martin Wood. David Tanner tackles some 10 metres from the halfway line. And a penalty for laying on. In fact, pulling down. A mountain of a penalty kick there. Jason Ramshaw, Ian Gately spinning through the tackle, finds Stevenson. Stevenson cuts back inside, but being driven towards the touchline. 10 metres out then as Ramshaw finds Steve Hall. Steve Hall drives in for the line. 2 metres from the line. Keighley on the attack now. Ramshaw misses out Brendan Hill, but Stevenson's in. Lovely ball there. 2 men missed out. Cut out the 2 inside men. Threw Carlisle into disarray. But that was very, very good support play all the way there, Darrell, again.
Yeah, excellent try that, John, yeah. They noticed Brendan had come out this side and Carlisle had there and Brendan had his eye on his hat trick. Jason had other ideas, a good wide ball there. Left Stevenson in the clear, good try.
Noticeably Steve Hall limping. Looks as though he's got trouble with his thigh muscle. 21 minutes into the game. 21 minutes into the second half of the game, that is. David Tanner then looking to add to his tally of 4. Oh, and it's just Mr. Carter totally ignoring the fact that the players behind him 2, sometimes 3 metres in front of that halfway line on the kick-off, and I think that's been going on for some while, you've noticed.
Yeah, it's not. I can't understand his position that this. Oh, that's a bad decision there. They're in the way, the man there is interfering with Jason knocked on. It was offside. No way without a knock on. Bad decision. As bad as the kick-offs for that.
Happy birthday.
The thing that bothers me though more than anything, Darrell, is the offside at the restart. You know, 2 or 3 metres inside and then allowing interfering round the play of the ball. Carlisle making a mistake there, knocking on round the base of the scrum. But Mr. Carter really needs to get his act together on these restarts, that's for sure. And in fact, look at that standoff well inside the 5. First one is given, and it has been happening before as well. David Creaser then, one for us here. You heard that one. Good job we had a roof on. Brendan Hill then driving in. Martin Wood, long ball up. David Tanner having to do the sweep-ins there as the Carlisle player sniffing in the line. Again the interference, which could even have caused a knock-on. And is it back to 1? He's just called 2 as Mr. Carter. Ayers, Kevin Marr, knock on again. Well, we'll never find out on that set of 6. And I think Kevin Pape should be made to go and chase that ball as well. Threw it away. No need for it. The touch judge still pointing at the far side at the Carlisle defensive line inside the 5, but Mr. Carter ignoring it. Nice step inside there by David Creaser, 30 metres out. Switching inside to Andy Ayers. Ayers, a ball out there to Ian Gately. Richard Francis, the ball goes back, says the referee. Richard Francis goes ahead, but tackled on the 20-metre line. And it's David Creaser now. Creaser, inside ball there to Steve Hall. Steve Hall not able to offload, looking to do so, but not able to do so. And it's Creaser once more. Andy Ayers, referee almost in the way. Doing very well to skip out of the way there was Mr. Carter. He could see that Ayres was going through. The gap appeared and Ayres took the chance, Darrell.
Yeah, the substitute came off a bit quick. Didn't have time to set himself for the tackle, and Andy went through it. Good try again.
Andy Ayres, Cougar try. This is the Andy Ayres signature tune. Recorded and produced by Andy Ayres.
David Tanner then, from in front of the post. David Tanner then slots the one over as the crowd on the far side. Both players from the sin bin. Tony Scott. Whoa, come on, Mr. Carter. Side was that man, number 12, Simon Knox. The hesitation at the restart, he should have stopped it there, Darrell. Goodness me.
Yeah, bad that, John. He's not looking. I don't know what he's doing at these kickoffs. He's getting himself out of position, and he's too close to players. It'd be better if he stood back 2 yards. Instead of trying to stand on line, get back 2 yards and look. You can see the line, it stands out enough.
Well, are we going to get another one? David Creaser hit the remaining bits of the roof. I think he was trying to get that through the window. That we don't have. Ramshaw then restarts. Ayres, Joe Grimmer run round, spin round rather. Kevin Marr away. Nick Pinkney's going, steps inside. Outside there to Kevin Marr, in at the corner. Nice combination there. I thought Nick Pinkney was going to be away and clear, but he certainly kept the ball alive. Straight from the restart from the penalty there against Carlisle up in the Keighley half of the field. Good play, good support play, good finishing by Kevin Marr.
Kevin Marr, well done, Kevin Marr. Kevin Marr.
Well, the crossbar, the direction obviously good. The kick, the length just not quite sufficient.
Here's the session off, comes Steve Hall to end the session.
Steve Hall again gets a good round of applause from those people in the stand as he leaves the field. The last substitution for Keighley, Mark Brook-Cowden, as I said a moment or two ago, replacing him. Mark Brook-Cowden on for the final 10 minutes of this game. Well, he was looking for it that time behind him, and the man in front of him was offside, so where do you go from there? 42 points to 12, the scoreline. Andy Bateman driving in 8 metres from the halfway line. Brendan Hill taking through the top half tacklers there of Carlisle as he gets into their half of the field. Ayres now, there's plenty of numbers here, but Mark Brook-Cowden actually took the play back inside. Andy Ayres deciding to bring it back the same way, skips inside, unable to offload to David Creaser. Creaser getting back to the acting half position. On there to Ramshaw. Ramshaw, ball out, knock on. I would know that Keighley would have been aware to that the sniffing in the line of Kevin Pape. He's done it from the first whistle, he's there every time, and they're still not wakened up to it.
Yeah, well, they'll get a try out of it before long, John, because Keighley are never going to wake up to it. Gone to sleep on him, I don't know why.
Ayres on to Martin Wood. He finds David Creaser, the half dumb as he looks to switch back inside. Gets to his feet. Bateman going. Ramshaw on to Joe Grimmer. Grimmer taped up from the head received in that altercation on the far side of the field with Tony Scott. Gets up and plays the ball now as Ramshaw going on his own. Ooh, a slap round the head there on Mark Brook-Cowden as he went through. And it's Bateman. Ayres finds Martin Wood, switched inside to Ramshaw. Ramshaw's got the support. Carlisle have got the ball, I think. No, they... Yes, Hugh Waddell got the ball. And played quickly. Richardson. On the 20-metre line then, driven back half a yard. 3 Keighley tacklers in there, get him back, recover the position. Waddell again, brings the ball up. Tackled on the halfway line, the 5 tackles gone, the arm up for the last one coming. And it's gone straight up in the air. Danny Russell doing the back. Taking on the last tackle there, the trialist substitute. Referee says he wants that on the 10 because the ball was thrown into touch by the substitute, and certainly loose forward Gary Charlton up very quickly. Behind him, assisting into the Keighley hands, and Ramshaw, Joe Grimmer, I beg your pardon, Brendan Hill. Ramshaw onto Ayres. Nick Pinkney not getting that one. The referee says that went back. I disagree. It came forward with the ball, and it was in line with us. That one's gone out now to Mark Brook-Cowden, stepping inside, looking round for the red shirt, the full red shirt that is. Ramshaw on to Martin Wood. It's the last one. Martin Wood puts the ball up. It's a good kick. He's followed it well, and Richard held over the line, my words. Now it must be Keighley head and ball here, Daryl.
Yes, back to 1 because Carlisle knocked the ball back. He's give it Keighley head and ball.
For our folks, a very, very tight game at Doncaster, as it turned out. Doncaster 96, Highfield 0.
Look at the line there behind the full-back as Keighley almost go through. Richardson was it level with the tunnel when that ball went in. The touch should Keighley is the fact that Carlisle are coming offside because they're beating the first cover, and there's a big hole created. Is inadvertently helping Keighley by allowing Carlisle to creep.
Yeah, it probably is, John, because Carlisle...
46 points to 12 then, with the conversion from Dave Tanner to come. The crowd go remarkably quiet. Oh, it strikes the post.
Right, we'll give you a few results here now.
Made the 10 back there, all of them still backpedaling. As Keighley's on to Martin Wood, goes for the kick. Pick up the try scorers in a moment or two. 5, Dave. Play then just inside the Carlisle half of the field. Bit of stoppage time. Oh dear, all sorts happening there. Stoppage time for the problems over the far side when the 2 players were put in the sin bin for 10 minutes. Maybe a minute and a half, maybe even 2 minutes of added time for that alone. But we're in those stoppage minutes and seconds now as Carlisle make headway towards the Keighley 20-metre line. Points to 12. And Carlisle have literally found it uphill. Look, 2 wee bit suspicious of crossing, or obstruction anyway, taking out a Keighley player as he went into the defensive line. But it's the last tackle coming up. Fox thought about switching, but gets the ball, and in fact the ball taken into touch almost in the top corner of the field. It'll be a scrum down on the 10. It'll be Carlisle's head and feed.
You know that sponsors today, JP King Poultry Products. All the chickens of Keighley have chosen Steve Hall, man of the match.
Steve Hall announces man of the match then as Carlisle win that ball from the scrum. 5 metres from the Keighley line.
Sponsors today.
Danny Russell, the standoff at Carlton, and a forward pass.
and it's Collingwood Commercials, who are the main match sponsors today. We'd like to thank them very much too. And not forgetting our main sponsors, Magnet Trade.
Ball out then, the back of the scrum on the ground. Trying to get up. And into Channer, David Channer, linking in the attack. Nick Pinkney signals where the ball's going. Joe Grimmer gets it, bounces off the first tackler, but brought to ground some 25 metres out from his own line. The crowd going quiet, gone very quiet. They've obviously know that the victory is assured as far as Keighley are concerned, but I think they'd like to see another one, and they'd love to see long distance ones as Kevin Marr gets onto Martin Wood, but Martin Wood well tackled there, well inside the half of the field as David Creaser gets the ball out to Marr. Kevin Marr onto Richard Francis in there at the corner. A good try, good handling, half the length of the field. A good way to finish. It puts the big 5-0 on the scoreboard for Keighley, and this surely will now be the last kick of the game, Daryl, as what must be a very satisfying second half anyway as far as Keighley are concerned, and 2 good league points, particularly with the results that we've heard going.
Yes, two good points, like we said right at the beginning, John, that's what we needed today. And a good second half, there must have been words said at half time. Obviously we got the slope, the wind, his second half has helped, but Keighley's put their back together. 2 good points, some good football playing, which is what it's all about.
And there's the hooter, the end of the game, good result.